In some parts of Milwaukee, hope may be hard to come by, with that is changing one individual and one home at a time thanks to Ezekiel HOPE. The nonprofit works to improve lives through home ownership, partnership, and employment. Let's learn more about Ezekiel HOPE from Jim Gaillard. He is the vice president of the organization and an electrician who also runs the electrical training program. He's also joining us from a conference in Las Vegas about fire safety. So we really appreciate you making time for us and being with us, Jim.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. As you know, this is a passion of mine, and I think it's a mission of mine. So, whatever I can do.
Tell us how Ezekiel HOPE got started.
Well, Ezekiel HOPE originally started like 25, 30 years ago as a middle class back subdivision, 16th, 17th Streets, 8th, and Galena and Walnut. And by some type of providence, I was the electrical contractor on this project. Now, you fast forward to 2012, I was a part of Micah, Milwaukee Inner City Church's Ally for Hope Job and Economics Committee, and we were trying to find out how to get more minority contractors on some of the bigger projects. The new arena we knew was going to get built at Northwestern Mutual Tower, West Lawn, and other projects that we were normally excluded from. So as a part of Micah, as the contracting end of that Job and Economics Committee, I was trying to find out what was the problem. How can we get our guys more qualified, people of the community, to get the business acumen, the certifications, and the people. And so we were looking around to partner with different nonprofits with the ideal we had, and come to find out that there was this, Micah had a nonprofit already called Ezekiel Homes, which had done all of the houses they were going to build, the 17 houses. They had them all sold. They were about to dissolve it. And we were like, hey, let's keep this mission going on, but let's focus on training. Let's focus on some of these dilapidated houses around town, foreclosed, boarded up properties that are eyesores and criminal havens. And they looked at it and said, this is what, but the weirdest part was that this is the same organization I worked for 10 years ago wiring up houses, and now I'm helping run it. So there was a different situation, and we started getting foreclosed properties, using them as a classroom, and training people in the skilled trades.
That training is so important and so key to the work that you do. Who trains the individuals who are learning these different trades and skills? And how many folks have you been able to help so far?
This in 2012, we probably helped more than 400. I would say closer to 1,000, because sometimes we would train some from the SDC program, from Youth Build program, from the Milwaukee County House of Correction, which now is the Community for Reintegration Center. And I'm a master electrician by trade, so I train some of the people in the electrical. Whoever we hire to work on the carpentry of the house, they have to train a few people who are interested in that, so forth with the plumber and the HVAC person as well.
The really interesting thing, though, is that this training program is not, it rehabs homes, but you're also going into existing homes where folks are living, and you're working to help make their homes safer. How are you doing that?
This came about a few years ago when there was an article, I think it won a Pulitzer Prize, about frayed wires and fires and some of the predatory practices and the landlord in the housing industry in Milwaukee. And someone reached out to me, one of the other people reached out to me and asked, did I know there were 5 times as many occurrences of fires in the inner city as anywhere else, and what would the problem be, and is there anything to do about it? I did not know this, but I do see a lot of things in my work. And so I came up with an idea that, hey, we can assess 20 houses at a time, a year, train 5 people. I would train the people on my normal electrical jobs and Ezekiel jobs. And then I would use my skilled technicians to go into the house and assess if they had overloaded circuits, um, handyman wiring, different things that we knew were fire hazards. And I had one lady who every time she turned on a dryer, if you saw the pictures, you would jump. Sparks would come out of her electrical panel. I'm talking about sparks. Every time she would turn her dryer on. There have been cases where we see someone's light wasn't working. We touch the light and a couple of lights in other rooms would blink. We take it loose. It's not a box. They just twist the wire together, tape it up. So it's kind of like we have a crisis in the electrical trades right now anyway. There's not enough electricians to do the work. And in the inner city, it's really a problem. As an African American, I'm 1 out of 100 in the state as an electrician. So it's not the likelihood that someone in that area's neighbor, brother, nephew would be an electrician. So they're at the mercy of whoever says they know something about electricity, which really puts them in harm's way. And we're going in there and I tell my guys we're heroes. We're going in there to save them from something we could possibly harm or kill them and their family.
And you do it at no charge.
At no charge. We've been blessed that when we did come up with the idea, it got turned away at first. It wasn't politically safe or correct or whatever reason the city and the county didn't think it was good enough for a program to just pilot like that. But the Zilber Family Foundation found out, and it was weird how they first said that, hey, we heard all the wonderful things you guys have been doing and wonder why you never asked us for any money. And so I've never been talked to like that ever. And so they funded the first year, and then they refunded again the next year. But what happened was that year, the Zilber Family Foundation adopted the Walnut Way and Lindsay Heights area. So there will be people in the Lindsay Heights and Walnut Way area that might tell their sister, brother, cousin that, yeah, these guys, that light that was blinking and those outlets that didn't work and that circuit breaker that would trip all the time, this group came through. This guy was training people. They fixed it. Everything is beautiful. It's working great like it should. And they would say, good, you got the number? People would call me. They lived out of that district, and I couldn't do anything for them. Greater Milwaukee Foundation stepped up and said, Jim, we will fund 20 houses as well, and there's no restriction on it. I got Northwestern Mutual to fund some in the Amani area. So my dream, wish, and hope is that I can go through the whole city. We have some of the oldest housing stock in the nation. This was, I didn't realize. I don't think of these things a lot of time, but in my research, and that's one of the reasons I'm out here for this Fire Protection Association meeting, is to get the word out. This is the only program like this in the nation. And we have 1890 and 1900, 1920 wiring methods in these houses in our city. But now they weren't counting on having microwaves, air fryers, electric stoves, air conditioners. So the wiring is outdated and overused, and they're really putting people in harm's way, and I want to do something about it.
Well, Jim, you are doing something about it. You're making a difference in people's lives by making their homes safe. And Ezekiel HOPE is also making a difference in the lives of so many people by providing them with training opportunities. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
I appreciate you.
And if you want more information about Ezekiel HOPE, you can go to their website, ezekielhope.org. That's all for this week. Thanks for being with us. Be well and take care. We will see you next week on Connect MKE.